Good afternoon, Knicks Nation. Welcome to the next edition of Sky Hoops Knicks Dream. To join the conversation, drop your comments in the chat room. If you want to join the panel, I'll be dropping the link in the chat room so you can join us on the panel and you can chop it up with us. With that being said, I want to introduce my main man, Bill Stradamus, who's going to be kicking us off talking about the Knicks Miami game and what he thought about it, and then we'll chop it up from there. So take it away, Bill Stradamus.
Good afternoon, Knicks Nations. Good afternoon, Papi Santos. I'm en route. I'm en route to go pick up another one of our panelists, Mr. Dez. I'm going to take care of some business. However, with regard to that game the other night against Miami, we played them tight, and then they pull it out at the end. And my overall assessment, as you probably saw in our chat, it seems like the Heat just have our number right now, and I want to liken that to when MJ and Pippen was coming up, but just kept getting knocked down by Detroit, and until they were able to get over that hump, whatever year that was, and that's what it seems like with us. But we play, and he down to the wire, and then they seemingly do whatever they need to do to pull it out at the end. They have great players over there, especially with Butler and Adebayo. Those are two great players, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then around them, they got some awesome shooters with Hero, Robinson, and then the two guards are really good. Dragic, he came back. He was giving us a little problem. And then the other kid, I forget what his name, Dunn?
Yeah.
No.
Warren Dunn.
Is that him? Dunn?
Yes.
Yeah. Him. So they have the pieces that are able to offset what we need to do in those final 3 minutes when the game comes down the line. I don't want to take too much of the time up. So I'm gonna let you eat a little bit. How'd you feel about it?
You made a great point in terms of when Chicago Bulls were on the come up, they had to go through Detroit. They had to swallow that medicine until they were able to get past them. And then once they got past them, then they were the top dog. So, I think that's a great analogy. Another example that I would throw out there, and you a boxing fan as I am and stuff like that, you always have those certain fighters, that either have your number or you have their number, or it's a matter of styles make fights. And that's what we have with the Miami Heat. This goes back decades. You know what I mean? This history goes back decades. So, we always come to expect that it's going to be a war with Miami. And it's just a question of which team is further along. Now, what we have to take into account is yes, records are what they are. Their win and loss record is what it is. However, I would put Miami in the exception category because they've had guys injured coming in and out of that lineup. But when that team is whole, remember, they're the Eastern Conference champs. They were in the finals. So they're bringing that pedigree to the game, whether it's against us or any other team. So they're the team that we really have to be very careful with. Even though, they beat us the 3 games that we played, for the most part, with the exception of this game, they were close games. But we do know that moving forward, they're going to be a team that you got to worry about in the playoffs because they have that experience. So that's something that, came out very clearly to me during that game. Now, in terms of Butler, the game has slowed down for him, bro.
Yeah, man.
The game has slowed down. And what I saw, yes, there's just players, the game slows down for them. But you got to find a way to disrupt that rhythm. That guy was just coming in, like this, Bill. He was just, he was moonwalking. He's moonwalking and then he's taking his time and then he's shooting the rock. You know what I mean?
Right.
Without any kind of resistance.
I, yeah, there was times where he went into the lane and he got stopped. He'll turn one way, he'll turn back the other way. He did it like 4 or 5 times, and before he made his decision as to what he wants
Yeah.
to do. Like you said, the game is slowed down for him tremendously, man.
You know, and what you got to do to him is what the Miami Heat were doing to us, where they were trapping that guard that was handling the ball, whether it was Derek, whether it was Quickly, whether it was Peyton. They were taking their moments to try to, you know, rush the play. You know what I mean? We
Yeah,
need to make those kind of adjustments too. Because if you know that Butler is in a nice little, yo, you got to bump and grind him a little bit. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Bump and grind. Just be a nuisance so that he's not comfortable. You got to make him uncomfortable. You got to make him think about how he's handling the ball. You know, where he's looking. You know, that he doesn't have, 15 minutes in the lane just deciding, okay, who am I going to pass this ball to?
exactly. He's sitting there drinking coffee, like, okay, what am I doing
You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. Come on. So, that's the thing that I saw. I mean, I think there's other things that we could definitely, break down in terms of, how we approach again the killer bees. Let me let you eat first on the killer bees, and then I'll give you my take on the killer bee, or whichever way you want to go about it. I don't care, but let's talk about the killer bees.
I think you saw it. I put it in the chat. They would have killed us bees. They had a combined. Their stat line was combined would be decent for one person.
Mm-hmm.
Decent, not even good or anything like
Mm-hmm.
that. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have any stats in front of me, but I recall. I think sometime in the fourth quarter or end of the third quarter, I had put out what the kill us bees stat line was, and they had between the three of them, they scored less than 20 points. They had about 4 or 5 rebounds and 4 or 5 assists, something weird like that. And they were turning the ball over a lot. They weren't there for us. They just were not there. And one play in particular, which reminded me when you said that how we have to play Butler. Mr. Barrett, he came down, he threw a sloppy pass. I think it was stolen by Robinson or Hero, one of them. They threw it ahead to Butler, and then he just ran him down and just fouled him. And it was just, he held him,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
they wouldn't get hurt. But all of that could have been avoided by throwing a better pass.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, I mean, I don't know. They were just the ball handling is terrible when they're off their game, and all of them just start throwing the ball away, fumbling, as Uncle Clyde would say, fumbling and bumbling. They did a
Listen,
lot of that.
listen. This is what I've been talking about with 2.0. You know,
Yes,
when the time comes that you got to play the better teams, this is where the inconsistency come in. This is what I'm talking about. I don't care about stats. You score 30 against OKC.
right.
Can you carry that over into a team like Miami, Milwaukee? With these kind of teams that when they're at full strength, they're top echelon team. It makes a difference.
Yep.
I could pat stats, bro, and average it out. Yeah, you can average all you want. It looks good on average. But when you break it down per game, that's when you see the real story, bro.
Yep. Yep.
That's when you see who got heart, who wants the ball, who doesn't want the ball in those moments. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And although I know in the broadcast there was a moment where Butler was joying at the ref, and then somehow, you know, it seemed like he was talking
To
to
Barrett,
to Barrett about it. He may
right?
have, that's part of his psychological approach. And if he did, he got in Barrett's head because after that, Barrett wasn't even functional. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So,
Right.
but that goes to show you that now what you're seeing, especially with Butler, is the game within the game. Okay.
Yes.
First, it slowed down for him. Now he's playing this little mind game to get in people's head, and he's doing his thing. He's working the refs because he did that in a previous game where he got a call and he was, acting
And
on.
laying on the ground like he couldn't get up and all of that.
Exactly, exactly. And then in this game, he's joined at the ref, but then he's using Barrett as an excuse. The ref give him a tech,
Yeah.
but still Barrett after that was not, didn't do anything.
I hope Barrett is picking up these tips because
Yeah,
that's the player that we're hoping that he should and can
become.
aspire to be.
Yes,
He could be a
yes,
left-handed Jimmy Butler.
yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. So now we got to see. We got 2.0 in the building. So I'm sure he's going to give us his take momentarily once he gets himself settled. I don't know if he can hear us, but can you hear us 2.0?
I hear you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're talking about the Miami Knicks game and what our thoughts were. So do you want to share your thoughts?
Um, I'm going to the game itself right now, trying to remind myself of the facts.
Okay.
But from the eye test, it looks like they didn't come prepared to play this game. The Knicks.
Okay.
Right from the jump, they were throwing up BS 3 pointers. There was no flow to the offense. They weren't throwing the ball down low. There wasn't at one point I saw, I don't want to even name names, but one dude come down, get a rebound, go all the way down and take a jump shot. Nobody else touched the ball. And we're down by 12. Shit.
Oh, I know that dude. I know that dude.
You know that dude?
I know exactly the play you're talking about.
That name,
Even Clyde said it. Clyde or Bream, they spoke on it.
name, but we all know who we're talking about. I mean, that's the franchise.
No, that's not. No, we're talking IQ did that.
Oh, I saw the franchise do this.
Well, and IQ did it too.
So in other words, all of them came in there throwing up. They like they didn't came there to play a defensive game first. They thought they were going to come there to play an offensive game, and then they missed the first 4 shots because they were all 3-point attempts at that, basically. And so they kind of gave it away right in the beginning of the game, man. There's no coming back against a good team if that's what you're going to do. I thought it was going to be a low score. I didn't think that we were going to score that low. And again, we started out the first quarter down by 5. So we beat them the second quarter, but then the third quarter, they ran away from it for some reason. I don't know what we were doing, because we scored an average of around 20 points, but you let them score 39 points. I think at one point they were saying that was just as much as they scored in the first half.
Butler
third
happened.
quarter was bad.
Butler happened in the third quarter. That's what happened.
I think a combination of Butler and no defense. No defense. Because it's not like Butler was taking contested shots all the time. He was driving down the lane, left-handed, and looking at his hand like, oh, wow, yo. And going back, talking about they can't stop me. And then nobody was trying. Maybe Bullock and Randall came back too early from whatever is ailing them, because they weren't doing nothing. And then the ball wasn't moving around to give Burks enough opportunities to take some decent shots. I don't know. That's what I saw so far. So I'm gonna have to give them a tech and a delay of game, man. And they deserve that loss. They earned that loss. It's a shame that riding a 3-game winning streak and with all of the momentum going and winning like 4 or 5 in a row at the Garden, that they're going to come in like this, Wow.
What's your thought on the Bees 2.0?
The bees didn't show up. The bees did not show up. Bullock didn't show up. 3 points. Barrett didn't show up. 8 points. Burke didn't show up. 6 points.
Man.
Okay.
So they were the kill us bees.
They were the killers bees. That last game. You know, Derrick Rose did something, but again, most of what Derrick Rose does is on his own. Because as you notice, he's not having 5 and 6 assists a game. He's got 1, maybe 2. So he's not coming in to assist, or I think he's coming in with the mindset that he's going to score. He's going to give us another scoring punch, which is good because his scoring, for the most part, is going to the basket. Except he goes to the basket and misses, some layups that turn into runouts at the other end. And that's where they killed us a lot, is that, and I remember, again, going back to the eye test, they got second and third opportunities on the same possession. It was ridiculous at one point, man. I was like, what the?
Yeah.
Like nobody, they
were more active.
Go ahead, Bill.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I just wanted to just throw in there. They were more active on the boards and everything. You had Bam out there, just flailing away. Bam was fighting for everything out there. And meanwhile, we weren't.
No, Bam got 17 rebounds and 20 points.
See?
Okay. Our bigs got, Noel had 11. And Gibson had 4. We had 15 rebounds. There, 8 with Julius. Okay, 23 rebounds altogether. But Bam almost had as many rebounds as all those 3 guys combined.
Noel actually had a good game, though, in my opinion.
Yes, he did.
Noel was one of our best plays.
Wow! Whoa! Back it up a little bit. He only got 8 points, but he just looked like he did a lot more.
He had 8 points. He had about 11 rebounds.
11 rebounds.
And about 4 block shots.
That was true too.
Yeah,
that's a very good game.
Yeah.
That's a very good game.
I would like for him to get 15 points though.
Yeah, but remember who you're going up against. Look who you're going up against.
Team that against Bam, man.
You know what I'm saying? The one-on-one matchup, and then number 2, the defense that Miami played. Man, they played tremendous D.
Yeah.
They played tremendous D, so we got to give them credit. But go ahead, Bill. Let's get Bill because he's on the road, so I want to get Bill's takes too, just in case we lose him.
I noticed also Obi-Wan, the young Jedi, he had a pretty good start, but then it seemed like it got to his head, and then he launched the air ball, and I said, oh my goodness. He was doing so well. He launched that air ball, and then the captain hooked him. Captain hooked him.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, well, we won't be seeing him. Rose and Quick and Rose. Rose is still needed out there, but he's not. I don't think he's not fully back to form.
He's not 100% yet. He's still out of shape.
You could tell. And Quick is Quick. Quick is still, showing everyone that he's still a rookie. So we're just gonna have to give him some time and hope that he learned from the mistakes that he made that game, because he did. He was coming down doing his usual. And I recall that play that Santana was talking about. They got the rebound, come down. I think he got the rebound. That's one thing about him. He's a pretty good rebounder. And one thing I noticed in the game, I don't know if you guys recall, he tried to throw it on somebody. I said,
he did.
Quick. Yeah. I said, okay, Quick. But he's still learning, so he's got to get a pass. But that was very poor. I would have to say poor game plan and execution at the crib, and that's you can't have that. But I don't know if you heard earlier. I said that 2.0. I was saying that they seem to just have our number right now, the Heat.
I think
So when do you guys take it?
Yeah, yeah, we were talking about that 2.0 where we said, okay, Bill brought this up. He said, you know, when the Chicago Bulls were on the come up going against Detroit, they just couldn't get past Detroit until they got past Detroit. So right now, the Knicks are in that same position, even though right now by record number, I mean the Knicks are ahead of Miami. But
right.
the reality is, even though Miami record doesn't reflect that because they've had people coming in and out of their lineup and they're not winning at the clip that one would expect, they're still the Eastern defending champs. So that's going to show up now towards the second half, especially when they have more bodies. So the question will be, you know, at this point, we can't prove it during the regular season because that's it. We're not going to play them again during the regular season. But if we played them during the playoffs, now that's going to be the true test. Do we measure up to them? Can we get past them like Chicago did against Detroit to get to championship levels? So we'll see. We'll see. But obviously, we didn't pull that off the day before yesterday. And so that's where the Knicks are. And again, it's like in boxing, man. Styles make fights, so you guys are mirror images of each other. Sometime a guy got your number, or you got a guy's number, and regardless of how many times you play each other, somebody has the edge. Whoever that person is. So that's what we were talking about when we were assessing where the Knicks are in comparison to Miami, how they measure up, how they stack up, and we talked about what's his name, Butler. But Butler, yo, he was moonwalking. He's taking his time. He's waltzing, taking his time, shooting, no disruption. That guy, the game has slowed down for him, which is good for him. But there was no resistance to really get the ball out of his hand, make him think twice, run a double team at him, a trap at him, like Miami was doing to our guards. You know what I'm saying? Those are the little nuances that the adjustments weren't being made. Thibodeau didn't make those adjustments. You got to make those adjustments. You see a guy in that third quarter and he's balling out. Yo, foul him. Do something to get him out of his rhythm. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't do that. That's what happened in the third quarter. Butler just went, and he did it nice and calm. He wasn't, overexerting, but he was in his rhythm. So with that being said, go ahead, 2.0. What you think?
I just want to add about um I don't understand where was Reggie Bullock in all of it. I don't know that whatever he was coming back from, he was completely 100%, because I know that he plays better defense than that on a regular. So I don't know what
Well,
happened.
Barrett, I think, was also defending him though.
Why?
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? And there were times when Barrett defended real well, and still I saw one time where I think it was Tyler Hero or one of those the shooters. Man, he was on him. That dude turned around and still threw it up, and he went in. He rattled in, but he went in, and that was the kind of night that they were having also. That everything that was going up was basically coming in, and when it wasn't going in, they were getting the rebound. So you know what I'm saying? That was what killed us. That it was poor defense. It was low energy. Okay, combination of all those things.
Love
You
these
know,
fucking trucks, man.
so we
What year is it? 7.
other than that, like you said, we're pretty even. Even though they are more experienced than we are at playing their game, and experience always overcomes, and sometimes especially inexperience guys that break down and then think that they gotta save the day instead of staying within the offense. And unfortunately, when you get behind, that's what happened to our inexperience shows up. We get behind, and everybody tries to chuck up a 3-pointer to kind of like build some momentum for us. And when it works wonderful. But when it doesn't work, it's deflating. And then they run out on the other end, and they get a score, and here it is, and one, and we got a 6-point differential, 3 that we didn't make and 3 that they made. So we dig out a hole for ourselves when we don't stick to when we're not playing good defense. It starts and ends with defense for the Knicks. If they're not playing good defense, because their offense is predicated on getting a couple of fast breaks and getting a couple of runouts. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, it should be working in and then maybe go out a little bit and then go out and take those threes. But they go, and I don't know what it is. Sometimes they're human beings, and
I
I
told
don't
him that
know if it's bad coaching, or I don't know whether it's the guys themselves that take it upon themselves that this is what they're going to do. Because I don't know how you can be calling plays to go down 3 and 4 times in a row and jack up a 3-pointer, especially after you missed the first 2. So that is it's discouraging.
The structure of the Heat
having won 3 in a row, and the way that they played in Milwaukee. Man, that was a nice game. I mean, even without Bullock and Randall, they were running, they were passing, it was cohesive, it was defense. Everything was there, and they pulled it out in the end. So they come back home. Now they got Randall and Bullock in the lineup, and all of a sudden, we're playing a different game, or we are a different team. And not that we are a different team, but that we're not the team that we were 3 games before when they were in the lineup. So we were like a mess. I think we were a mess, is what that was. And I fear for those type of games to get into the mind of players, and how are they gonna come back? What is going to be the response? Like, take it away.
game. So that
Go ahead, Bill.
Yo, go ahead, Des. Des was just dropping some knowledge on me. So.
Drop it on us, Des.
Let us see.
Yo, what up, yo? As I was telling Bill, compare us to the Knicks to the Heat. We are like, we have some tight games. We have some tight games with them, but we are where the Heat's going. The Heat is where we're going to be in a year or 2 from now. That championship run that they made bodes well for them coming in tight games, right? And if you go man for man and you match up at certain points, you have Adebayo when you got that fucking big-headed dude. What's his name? What's his name? I call him Lloyd. What's his name? Jimmy Butler.
Oh,
Jimmy Butler is just a beast. You know what I'm saying? We play just as good as defense and everything matching up well, but their best players compared to our best players is better than our best players. You know what I'm saying? And Jimmy Butler is clutch. You got to give it to him. That kid is clutch. If he practically drag a bunch of no-name guys to the championship and took LeBron and them guys to 6 games, we're not there yet. We're missing certain components. We don't have those guys that could come out and just give you some 3-pointers off the screen and they're going to hit it. You know what I'm saying? We're not there yet. We got a couple of guys, maybe hit some 3-pointers. Whenever the Knicks hit a 3-pointers, I'm like, thank God. But when the Heat hit the 3-pointers, you're expecting them to hit that shit. If they miss, we're saying thank God. So that's a different thing that we at. We play them tight. We're going to be saying defensively, but their skill players are just a little bit better than our skill players at this point. So, you know what I'm saying? We got to, at a certain point, we'll figure it out going down the stretch run when I think we played them again or something like that, or that's it?
No, that's it. This season, because it's 72 games, we only played them 3 times, and of course they beat us all 3 times.
Well, thank God for that. We ain't gonna lose to them no more. But
Right.
you know, they're 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 hard nosed, tough team, and their system kind of our system kind of mimic their system, but they
Yeah.
just got a little bit better players
They
to
got
know.
more experience too.
Yeah, yeah. That championship runs does a lot for a team coming down to close games.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And like you was, and like also he was just saying, we don't have real good 3-point shooters, and that's been my my bark all
Hmm.
season. We have decent 3-point shooters who, if they, sometimes when they get hot, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
They have snipers.
Yeah, because a lot of the close games we lost this year is not that the plays are run, the shots are open, but we just can't hit the shots. You know, parking back to the Philly game, open shots, guys just missed them. There's several games you look at where you need a guy to come in and just hit that one or two 3-pointers at a time, or that clutch shot at a time. We don't have that guy yet. Randall does well, but after a while, everybody else, the fall off for people consistently hitting a shot is hit or miss. So we just got to be consistent with our shot making, I feel. So when you come down to clutch time, you say, this guy got the ball, he's going to do it. You could bet he's going to hit that shot. We don't have that yet. We like, whenever they hit that open shot, we're like, oh, shoot, thank God he hit that one. Because we seen them miss a lot of open shots. So, hey, take it for what it is. All these tough games that we play now, we'll do better as it goes down to the playoff times, or towards the end of the season.
Right. 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 Mr. Bill.
I'm gonna have to echo those same sentiments, and then go back to what our bread and butter is: defense. And when we slack up on that defense like we did in that third quarter, the other team is going to get the best of us, and then we're going to be scrambling around in the third quarter, mid third quarter. We got to hope everybody is on and able to carry us over the hump.
Right.
So,
Right.
basically, with that, I'll throw it up to you, Santana. What's your thoughts?
Okay. So I'm gonna transition because we got to talk about tonight's game against Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
This game is gonna take place in Minnesota. Um, yeah,
Yep.
Minnesota's record is not anything to write home about. Obviously, they got a losing record, but they're still playing some tight games. They're still playing some tight games. So now, as a team, we have to go out there and we have to redeem ourselves from the Miami loss. We got to go in there. We got to play good, sound defense. We should have guys with more legs under them, aka Derek Rose, aka Bill Randall, aka Bullocks. So I don't like to give players excuses, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They're still getting their legs, so they've been out. So hopefully by today, there's no excuse. They should come out. They should play a very good game. They should play consistent, and they should win today. Um, we still have the same suspects over there. You got Towns and you got the rookie of the year there. Well, he's not the rookie of the year, but he's their rookie. That day, he's a high flyer. He's starting to get more minutes, and he's starting to feel himself out. So we got to watch out for those guys. And then of course they also have who do they have at point guard? Is it Rubio?
Yeah.
They got Rubio,
Yeah,
and
we got
Rubio's a veteran. He knows how to get guys shots and stuff like that. And the last time that we played him, Rubio played a very good game. Though Payton had a good game, but Rubio had a very good game as well. He had a better game than I anticipated. So, with that being said, I want to, do a nice little cross court pass, which is something you got to be very careful when you're playing
Oh,
basketball. But I'm going to pass it over to 2.0. Go ahead, 2.0.
well, careful because those passes get intercepted.
I know, but I got skills like that.
You
I
got
got the
stuff-
Jimmy Butler skills, man, that I could do things in slow motion and everybody else is just watching.
you got Alfred Payton, you got Ricky Rubio, Reggie Bullock, Malik Beasley, Arthur Garrett, Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, Nerlens Noel, Carl Anthony Towns. Carl Anthony Towns would love to go to town on the Knicks here tonight, and he's going to do everything that he can to continue to showcase his skills so that maybe in the off season something will happen that he'll end up with New York. That doesn't mean that he's going to give up the game for us to win. So the problem is for us, I think, is that Anthony Edwards is doing very well recently. He is killing it out there. And I'm just listening on the NBA radio shows, not that I'm watching the games or anything, but apparently he's having a good season for a rookie. And he's getting better in every game. So they say fear the deer. I say fear the wolves. They are coming. Okay, I'm gonna look up what their record is right now. I don't know if any of you guys got it.
I know they were like 11-22 or something like that.
Okay.
Or 24, something like that.
Um.
Yeah,
And how
today
long-
we're gonna be dancing with wolves, man. We're gonna be dancing with wolves. Now the question is, are we gonna win? Are we gonna pull the game out?
It's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a tight game.
Go ahead, take it away, Daz.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game. Like you said, the last time they played in Madison Square Garden, it was down to the last,
Yes.
down to the last minute. And as you say, Thompson, he's going to try to showcase his talent, and he's going to be a tough. Now that Mitch is out, it's going to be a tough cover, So he's going to get his numbers and everything like this. As you say, the rookie kid is coming on, but I really don't fear him that much because I think our defenders are pretty good, so we have enough to throw at him and everything. So. We got to look at the other pieces. Rubio, like you said, played a good game. He's starting to develop a three-point jump shot. He's not consistent with it, but it's something that he never had in his arsenal before. So we got to look out for that. So this is, to me, it's going to be a toss-up game. We just got to play smart and play well and learn from coming off the Miami game. We learn how to play learn how to play a tight game. So that the lessons we can learn from Miami probably will translate over into this game. But I think it's going to be a toss-up game, to be honest with you. So
let me add something here that is coming up. Is that as good as they look on paper, and they're also given the fact that they're playing in the Western Conference, they're still in last place over there. They only won 11 games. So I know that a lot of that has to do that they got to go against the Jazz and the Lakers and the Clippers and all of those teams 3 times a year. But that either make them stronger or really kill some of their confidence. Listen. The game turns out to what the Knicks do. In every one of these situations, I think it's not always about what the other team is doing. It's about what you bring to the table. And the Knicks got the best defense in the league, and they bring that to the table every night. When they bring that to the table every night, the other team has to deal with that. It's when we give up easy 39 points in the third quarter to the Miami Heat that we lose games. Go ahead.
Yeah, and like you said, and that one quarter set us back in the last game. 39 points. We can't have quarters like that, and still think that everyone is going to perceive us as the best defense, or whether the numbers say it or not.
Right. And
the T-Wolves played us really tight at the Garden, as one of you guys already mentioned, and I expect them to play us just as tight at their home. So Cat is gonna get loose. We know that. So we're gonna have to bring a team defensive approach into this. No different than when we played any other team. That's even better than them. We have to go defense first, defense second, defense third. Offense will come.
Mm-hmm.
But the offense can't be predicated on just chucking up threes and, keep doing it until someone hits one. I think in the last game, we didn't hit our first three until, what was that? So almost halftime or something like that. And I think it was Barrett.
Yeah.
I think sometime in the second quarter, he hit our first three.
No.
However, all of them were taking it. Everybody just came out there gunning. So we gotta knock it off with that. Defense, try to control tempo, and we can win this game. But I don't have the full confidence to say that we're just gonna go in there and just blow them out. I think we can win if we do those things: defense, tempo, rebounding, and give us a chance to win it in the last, as 2.0 always says, in the last 4 to 5 minutes of the game. We're in it, and we're still doing those things. Then I like our chances. With that being said, who am I passing it to?
Let me just jump in on something.
Good, Jack.
Let me just jump in on something about what I look at the overall Knicks season. Knicks played the first 2 quarters great. Is always they whenever I'm looking at them, I say whatever the numbers are, if the Knicks are around, or the team is about 55 or something like that points, I'm saying, okay, that's a Knicks. Every game, just about every game, it's trending the whole season. The third quarter has been the Achilles heel for the Knicks. Either something happened in the third quarter where we don't make the adjustment till probably the last half of the third quarter. The other team comes out and make that adjustment at halftime, and it seems like we're never ready for it. It seems like it's a trending thing that happens when the Knicks all again. We'd be up by 10 or 15, and the third quarter somehow we stop playing till coming into the fourth quarter. Somehow we figure start waking up. So if we make that adjustment at the beginning of the third quarter, a record would be so much better than it is right now, to be honest with you. Because so many times I'm watching the game, I'm like, what happened to the team that went into the locker room? It's just the same thing that comes out. And then the fourth quarter, they're usually really good in the fourth quarter. But that third quarter, some way, the first half of the third quarter, we seem to be sleepwalking. Somehow Tibbs is not making the adjustment, or the other team made the adjustment, and we're just not ready for it. So if we look out for that, look out how the way they come out in the third quarter and see what kind of adjustment we make to see if we're changing that trend.
Right. I just want to share a comment that was dropped in the chat by Dream. He said, Miami is coasting similar to last year, but can turn up their play to remind everyone they did win the Eastern Conference last year. And yeah, we definitely agree with that. We definitely can see that, So that being said, go ahead, 2.0. You wanted to say something?
Yeah. When you say we definitely agree with that, I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of things changed when they went into the bubble. Okay. Just like the Suns blew up in the bubble and all that, and a couple of teams just benefited from being in the bubble. Just because they did it in the bubble doesn't mean that they all of a sudden became world beaters or world champions. They were just an average team. Everybody else would have done a lot better had not been in the bubble.
Yeah, but the bubble was the bubble, man. Regardless of if it wasn't because of the bubble, whoever made it to the bubble were in the same circumstances. So you got to give them credit. That's just the bottom line. Got to give them credit. They did what they had to do to get to the championship game. Now, they didn't win, but they still, people expected Miami to be a better team in spite of the bubble last year. They just didn't have that regular season that everybody expected. They didn't have the regular season that everybody expected. That's the reality. They were hovering around 500. They coasted into the bubble, and then they made their run in the bubble. But everybody had the same opportunity that was in the bubble. Everybody had the same opportunity.
The Bucks would have lost to Miami.
No, but we can't speak about what woulda, coulda, shoulda, bro. We got to talk about what was. Not what woulda, coulda. We could talk hypotheticals all day.
But it's an asterisk.
No, man, no asterisk. No asterisk, bro.
Yeah, you're playing in the bubble. You're not playing. That's not real.
brother. It's real. It's reality. They're playing. They're playing, bro.
They're playing,
Everybody who's in the bubble. It's
nobody's
not an
fasting.
asterisk.
That was the reality of 2020.
That was the reality. Everybody got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Notorious and Dream is coming in. Everybody want a piece of this action. Go ahead, brother. Fire away.
What's going on? What did I miss? Besides me telling y'all we were gonna lose that game.
Oh yeah, that's true.
About that.
Just tell us what you're thinking. I mean, we talked about the Miami game. You could talk about that if you want. We talked about Minnesota tonight, so you could say whichever. Share your thoughts.
Well, I think that every time they go down court, they should have some money to give the cat. So the off season, he know we gonna pay him.
Mm-hmm.
If I just slip him a $10 bill right here.
Yeah, every time we come down court, somebody give him a 10. Let them know we start paying you now, man. Come on the
Give him the
board.
jersey, give him a practice jersey, some sneakers, warm up times, everything, whatever you got to give him.
Timberwolves.
He wants to come back to Jersey anyway.
Is he a
Yeah.
free agent?
Yeah, he want to come home.
On the contract.
Everybody want to come home, and teams are shipping them out somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. And if the Knicks are already shaking and trying to drop players to gain some more money and throw it towards that salary cap, maybe they're trying to prepare themselves for not only re-signing Randall, but still adding two major pieces. Because that's what it's going to take, basically.
Well, they better re-sign, number 15 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
They better bring Burks back, the second coming of Earl Monroe.
Mhm.
Hilarious.
That's good.
And all you guys said these guys were going to save our team, man, on the chat. What happened? They went right back to the Killers bees as soon as some expectations got dropped on them. So, that's what happens.
Wait, Dream. All us guys, don't include
Not all.
me. Not that one, bro.
I'll
Don't
take
include
you
me.
out. I'll take you out.
Just
You
sell
named
out
them.
people.
You named them
Sell
out for that reason.
2.0's
I'll take you
checking
out.
out. Not mine.
Sell out.
Nah, I'm not a sellout, bro. I just call it like I see it, man.
I call it like I see it. I tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Word.
And as far as this upcoming game that they have, they need to wake up because they don't want to get caught in this woe is us because Mitch went down. And I feel like maybe that was the letdown game because they were all kind of feeling like, man, we lost our horse that was supposed to come back in the middle. Whatever kind of horse that was. Maybe it was a pony, But
that wasn't the letdown.
I wasn't I didn't see the game, because I'm out here in Cali, so I'm missing the actual action. So you guys, if it need to be corrected,
Man, put Time Warner Cable on your phone, brother.
I tell you, it's a time difference. I'm eating dinner. I don't want to ruin my dinner with a bad performance.
Man, have the phone sitting right there at the dinner table while you putting the fork in your mouth.
Oh man, my wife's gonna cut my plan, bro.
She gonna cut something.
Oh, I gotta make it back home for the rest of the season. But yeah, so hopefully they have a better performance tonight. I'm not sure. I think it's gonna be a similar game where they go back and forth, and they should definitely win this game. I feel, but Santana was right. Minnesota plays close games all the time. Look at what they did with Brooklyn. I think Harden had a triple-double. Kyrie went off, and they still were basically a 5-point game. I think it was 112, 107, something of that nature. So, a force to be reckoned with. And every time we play Minnesota, Big Cat always shows out and reminds us, hey, man, I'm here for the taking. So, like you said, we still didn't shore up our center position by any means, and having Mitch go down kind of hurt us a little bit. But we got some roster spots that need to be filled. One of them needs to be filled within a 2-week limit or something like that.
Remember what I told you when it comes to big men.
Yeah.
When it come to big men and they start getting injuries, especially their legs and feet.
Yeah.
Some of them, because of their size, is career ending. They never be the same. Because Porzingis is not the same.
No. And they're basically even with us, record-wise.
You look at Dallas right now. Has he cleared a full season
Not
since
at
he's
all.
been there,
No.
and that's my point.
Yeah.
Boogie has he cleared the full season?
No. And right now he's talking to the Clippers about trying to finish these last 20 games.
In respect to AD, I think AD only cleared 2 seasons in his career.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and you got to think of that. And you're talking about Mitch. Everybody's hoping and praying. First of all, Mitch doesn't even have the footwork, and Mitch done broke a foot that doesn't have the footwork. You know, are we going to be looking at him getting hurt every season now? You know, that's what we have to look at. Chime in, Bill.
Bill is on the road. And again, you guys are absolutely right. We still have to shore down the center position. The names that are out there
This is really good for what he does in the center
always
position.
Kyle O'Quinn.
We had a good rotation.
Kyle,
I'll take O'Quinn.
you know,
What's
and we got Tyson Chandler.
We should pick up
I don't know
man.
about Tyson.
Carlo Queen,
You
Tyson
know, he's
Chandler.
probably 100 years old right now.
O'Quinn would be okay.
Yeah, he's
That's
old.
all
Man.
right.
He's
You
old when we
can
got
find
him.
O'Quinn when we last had him, he
Hey,
played for the
I'll
Nets.
shoot behind him.
He's steady.
Okay. Okay, well, you know, I think that Kyle O'Quinn it might be a good or bring up one of those guys from the G League. But like you say, we do need another body. We need another body down there to take up a couple of minutes, give those guys a couple of minutes rest. Because Nerlens Noel is not going to be
It would be great.
and getting 11 rebounds and scoring 10 points.
If Noel go down, man, you know we messed up.
Well, we could be going. If we go from 4th to 12th.
If Noel goes down, we're messed up.
Okay, we could be out of the playoffs.
Because then we have one center that's not really a center.
No.
And we have a really tough April schedule coming up.
We gave up
A lot of big bodies in those schedules.
We got Lakers, Clippers.
Lakers, Clippers, a lot of West Coast teams. New
Well,
Orleans a couple
Clippers,
times.
yes. Clippers, yes. Lakers, no.
But New Orleans twice. So we got Zion and Adams coming in. They're gonna beat us up low. Or
Yeah,
try to.
Adams always clog up the middle.
Because then they
Yep.
Which
So,
he
you know,
would
more money on
I
the
would take Adams.
and we got 2 second rounds.
Yeah.
I
So
think
maybe
Bill,
they're gonna pick up. They got into April something to pick up.
I would kick the tires and come. We give you a different type of. It's a big 7 footer.
I thought you were in the background.
If you get tips to make it work, and you can still outside sometimes.
Who's that?
Boogie.
There you go.
Bill, can you hear us?
Bill,
There you go.
there
Now
he
you go.
is.
Yeah. Now hilarious.
Anyway, going into tonight's game, I think again, I'm always hopeful that we are going to put it out, but I'm always fearful that we're not going to show up. And everything for us, for me anyway, it depends on how we get off in that first quarter. Pull it out in the second half, but you know those first quarter low scoring quarters, man, they're hard to come back from, man. And maybe Randall and Bullocks weren't 100% the other day. But what killed us then was the fact that we didn't play any defense. I think I said it earlier that we came out there looking like we wanted to play offense before we played defense. So we started chucking up 3-pointers and missing them, and continue to chuck, you know, 3-pointers. Nobody went to the hole in the first 5-7 minutes. But hopefully, I'm saying that they're going to right the ship because I believe in the coach, even though he didn't make the right adjustment when what's his name, Big Head was going off, and so there was no
Look at
I don't know what happened in that game.
different dimension of the 5. You know what I'm saying?
But would that mess up our chemistry?
Anyway, I say 100,
You know, you're gonna use him at the end of the time.
And then the league
Knicks.
get a bucket down low.
Down low.
Hey, Bill, what podcast are y'all on? Because y'all having 2 different conversations.
Y'all can hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because my mic is like it's muted. And I'm telling them I can't unmute it.
We can hear you, brother.
Well, we were talking about Boogie Cousins and kicking the tires on him for a month or 2.
No,
He's talking to the Clippers.
he's with the Clippers.
He's gone.
Oh, he's
a
signed?
a 10-day contract.
So
Oh,
much for that
okay.
shit.
Oh well.
No, what is that, right?
Then let's bring O'Quinn back.
Quinn
I would bring O'Quinn back.
in a
Bring
heart.
O'Quinn back. He could play 4 and 5.
You know, Bill.
Listen, he's got that baby jumper for that zone that they play us. He'll catch that ball at the foul line and turn around and start making those shots. And all of a sudden, their coach is going to have to call a timeout and get out of that.
Exactly.
And that's what we need. We need somebody to consistently come in.
I would bring him and Chandler back.
Okay. Even though Chandler's not a shooter. He's a
That's all right. He's a wide body.
Okay. So you want them both? You say?
Yeah, I'll take them both.
Okay.
Yeah, they have
That
spots
way,
open.
that way, I have a firm foundation in the middle, and I can put Taj on the forward and let him play forward from now on.
Yeah.
That's true.
All
I
right.
think we have until April 8th to make a decision on who we're going to have on the team going forward.
Okay.
Yeah, the 11th.
Oh, April 11th.
Yeah. So we got a little time, and we have 2 roster spots to fill. One of them has
I
to be
don't know
filled.
why
in
y'all
like a
think
week.
that's a little bit of time. Like I told y'all before, don't wait until the 10th. Talking about we still got time. You know, if the Knicks ain't get anybody by the 10th, they're not gonna get anybody.
No, yeah, they already wasted time in free agency with that.
The problem is that we're playing games between now and then, and if we wait until the very end, and then he has to kind of get into game shape, and he has to get into the flow of the offense. It's gonna be 20 games before the guy is any good for us. They should have brought him in yesterday.
Well, you already took the count, man. Like I said, you don't depend on the Lakers being a winner because they don't have a team anymore. They just as bad as we are.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a toss up.
Yeah.
Tonight's game is a toss up.
Tonight's game is a toss up. All these games now became toss ups where they were starting to lean in our direction a lot of the time.
Exactly.
Well,
Yep.
we got Timberwolves, Mavericks, Pistons, Nets, Celtics, Grizzlies, Raptors, Lakers, Pelicans, Mavericks, Pelicans, Hornets. Oh,
Mhm.
God. Those before they play the Hornets again, they got like Grizzlies, Lakers, Raptors, Pelicans, Mavericks twice, Pelicans twice.
Yeah. You got a potential to go south real quick. That's the problem. So this is why
Well,
when other teams
you
are
know the
stacking.
Pelicans don't have JJ, so they don't have the outside shooting that they had. So we stand a chance against the Pelicans, and if you can close off one particular guard, we can head off the West Coast run too with the Grizzlies.
They got Adams, and they got Zion. Adams are going
They got Adams and Zion. Yes, they got Adams and Zion. They got the middle, so we have to be able to hit every shot because we don't have offensive rebounds.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now, if you
Oh my
pick up
God!
the
Now
two
the oh my
people-
God's come out.
but if you pick up the two people I told you to pick up, we will have the middle and it balances out.
Okay. So Chandler and O'Quinn.
Absolutely.
I would get O'Quinn in here in a heartbeat, man.
We'll make it happen, Captain.
I'm trying. Let me go light up a candle. I'm not calling, but they're not taking my calls.
You borrowing some voodoo from the Pelicans or something?
Going down to Louisiana and talk to my spiritual advisor.
Don't tell me Zion's your spiritual advisor.
No. It's that lady there in the back of the woods. Anyway, so what do you guys think for tonight, man? Give me a score.
105-103, Minnesota.
Wow. Okay, I think I already put my foot in it. What did I say? I said 110-102, I think it was. Knicks.
Okay.
I'll go 108-104 Knicks.
Okay. All right, so the only logical person here is Bugs. We are hopeful that we're gonna win this game.
I hope we win it too. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong too, man. Because we need this badly, man. We need this badly, and because it's after this is the Mavs and then the Pistons. Those are, also, especially the Mavs game. That's at home next Friday.
Well, I think we can win the Detroit game.
The Detroit game is a definite winnable, but then the Nets game is another problem. We're going to be in Brooklyn.
It's a problem if 2 out of the 3 are playing.
Yeah.
It's not a problem if one is playing because all you got to do is box that one and we got a chance. But if 2 out of the 3 are playing, we got a problem.
We also, don't forget, they just picked up LaMarcus Aldridge.
I know. I'm considering all of that. Remember, Aldridge wasn't really playing.
Well, he's been playing more games than O'Quinn has been playing this year. So he's like game shape.
Well, I'm using O'Quinn as a body in the middle for offensive rebounds.
Right.
That's what I'm using O'Quinn for. And if they put a 2-1-2, or rather, I'm sorry, a 2-3 zone on us, because they don't play a 2-1-2 zone, then I got O'Quinn shooting foul shots for 2 points.
Right. Well, good luck to us tonight. I think. What do you got, Bill? Anything else? Any last words? Now you got yourself muted. There you go.
I'll be on the chat, and hoping that we can pull this one out. But like I said, if we come there defense first, I'm pretty confident we can get it.
Okay.
If we go in there trying to show that last game, we weren't able to shoot out with these, but we can outshoot these guys, we're going to be in for a tough game. Either way, I think it's going to be a tough game. I don't think we're going to walk over them. I don't think they're going to walk over us. And I'm just, like I said.
I think
108, 104?
You said
that's what you said.
104.
Yeah.
I think the third quarter will tell.
Third quarter, huh?
Yeah, we can't give up no 39 points.
All right. Well, fellas, as we say at the end of every Minnesota. The Dream says Minnesota 107-97.
Oh,
did he also tell you his wife cut him off?
I don't know. He hasn't said. Minnesota. So we got to. Hey, I hope you guys are wrong, man. But it is what it is.
Okay.
Okay. So as we always say at the end of every episode, once a Knick,
Always
Always
in there.
in it.
All right, fellas. See you on the on during the game
All right.
later.
Later.